I just interviewed Katliente, who is one of the best content creator educators on the internet. She built her career streaming on Twitch, growing on TikTok, and pivoting her way into a $13,000 a month content business. Kat and I talked about how to stop being a boring streamer, how to pivot your content without killing your channel, and the biggest mistakes that you are probably making right now in your content, and what to do instead. My name is Dillan. I interview professional creators so that you can learn from their stories, mistakes, and strategies and become a full-time creator yourself. And if you've ever felt stuck, burnt out, or unsure as to why your stream isn't growing, you will get a ton out of this episode. So without further ado, hope you enjoy my conversation with Katliente. I'd love to start this conversation, Kat, by quoting you, actually.
Okay.
Here it is. You said, "My biggest misconception about streaming was, I just go live on my Twitch account and I am cute female, so obviously I should get viewers. And then I started streaming and no one came into my streams." So I'll ask you, Kat, if being cute female and going live on Twitch didn't bring the viewers in, what did?
Oh my God. You did your homework. I appreciate it, but oh my God, I got so much hate for that video. It was so funny. And just this is ADHD, completely unrelated, but I knew that was clipped from a stream, and I knew exactly what I was doing when I was saying it because I knew what people were going to comment. They're going to be like, "You're fucking mid, da, da, da." And I'm like, chill, bro, chill. Like, it's all good. Okay, the sentiment is still there. Your opinion about my appearance is not part of this conversation. But regardless, I had that thought. I was told that at 18 years old when I started streaming. I did not stream at that point. My ex was like, "You look like an ABG, so you should stream on Twitch." And I was like, haha, okay. Stupid as hell. Didn't know any better. I was blonde, so it's kind of fitting some stereotypes. But I realized when I started streaming, wow, no one's coming to watch my streams. I was promised fame and glory for my appearance, and it's not happening. So I don't know. Then I streamed for like a year and a half like that, though, like without changing anything, like literally under that kind of like idea of, my appearance will bring views or whatever. And again, not that I thought I looked like hot shit, but I was just told being a girl is free game on Twitch. So that was what I was operating under. And then after a year and a half of not growing, you can run the numbers and do the math, and 1 + 1 = 2. And that checks out as I am not doing something right because clearly I have not experienced any growth in these years. So I was really frustrated with myself. And I finally asked myself the question that I feel like everybody should ask themselves is, what could I do better? Because I wasn't changing anything about my streams. I would hit go live and play League of Legends. That was literally it. I wouldn't do anything else. And I would not actively do anything to make my streams better. And if you operate without actively trying to improve, you will constantly stay in your status quo because you're not working to be better. So I then started doing research on how to improve my streams. I would watch a fuck ton of TikTok videos of people being like, "Here's how I improve my streams, here's what you should do, whatever." Harris Heller consumed a lot of his content, watched a lot of other creators talk about how to grow on Twitch. And a couple of the big things that I did, one, rewatch your VODs. Once I rewatched my VODs, I was like, holy crap, I am boring. And it's funny because there's somebody in my community, I call him out every single time because this is funny as hell to me. But he came into my streams like years later, like after I got partner and stuff and when I fixed my shit and locked in. But he was like, "Wow, you're so funny, Kat. When you first started streaming, I was there and I unrecommended you off of my Twitch page because you were so boring." And I don't blame him at all. Like, I am not mad at all because I would have done the same exact thing. When I watched my VODs, I wanted to throw up. And genuinely, if you can't sit through your own VODs, nobody else can sit through your streams because as narcissists, we're the most entertained by ourselves. That was one. Two, actively try to get a personality. I was about as boring as a brick. So that needed to change. And funny, when you go and watch comedians and you surround yourself with funny friends and steal their jokes, you too can also become somewhat funny. So I employed that practice. And also three, trying to figure out what works. So League was like working for me. I got up to like 30 average viewers just playing League. But I was like, okay, but I want partner. So like, what can push me over the edge to partner? And League was oversaturated, but it's not like you can't grow in an oversaturated space. But I found a better niche, and that niche being like just chatting streaming advice. And I did that. And the final thing that I did was actively grow my other socials, my TikTok, and then funneled people from TikTok over to Twitch. I was still posting once a day on TikTok, but December like 2021, I locked in, posted like 3 times a day, and that really propelled my growth forward.
Wow.
Sorry, that was a really long answer to your question.
No, it's great. It's great. So you laid out 4 things. Let me see if I can reflect these back. So first and foremost, after a year and a half of doing the exact same
Yes.
thing over and over again, you asked yourself the most important question, which is what are the things that I can be improving and doing better for
Yes.
my viewers? Number 2 is actively trying to get a personality. So as I heard it, figuring out how what are you doing that is boring? Like I feel like it's easy to hear that and go like, well, just stop being boring. It's like, okay, but what does that mean?
That's way too vague.
Yeah, what do I start doing and what do I stop doing? What are the actual
Yes.
components or characteristics of someone who is entertaining or not boring? And trying to implement those. I know the 4th one was posting on other socials like TikTok once a day up into 3 times a day. And then the 3rd was
Watch your VODs.
watch your VODs. Watch yourself. Yes. Cool.
You were pretty close.
I was,
3 out of 4?
3 out of
That's
4. That's a C.
C's get degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, C's get degrees.
Thank you very much. There's so much to dive into there. I would love to double click on the first part. And I bet there's a lot of overlap in those 4 that you just laid out, but what were the specific answers that you had of like, what can I be doing better? What are the things that I can improve here? What did you actually start to improve?
Yeah. It does overlap a lot with the other points that I've made, but a couple of very hyper-specific ones. One, talk a lot more on stream. And it feels so difficult because it's going to feel really unnatural. Like when you and I converse, right? Like I say something and then you give a rebuttal. So then I stop talking, right? And then I respond to your rebuttal and it goes back and forth. But in natural conversation, you pause a lot to hear the other person's response, or you should anyways.
I don't.
Yeah, just straight yapping. But on streams, it's a nonstop yapping because you will operate a stream as a normal conversation where you talk, you pause to read Twitch chat, and then you respond. But all of those pauses and stuff like that makes it so boring. You need to fill that space. So you're going to have to get into the habit of verbally regurgitating all of your thoughts. So when you read Twitch chat to respond, read it out loud. So something like, I don't know, Dillan says, "Oh, what's your favorite boba today?" And then I'll literally verbally read it out loud and then give the response. That fills the space really like a lot, which makes your streams less boring. Narrating your gameplay, this is so commonly given advice. A lot of people are like, I don't know what that means. Literally, what are you doing in game? Like if you're playing Marvel Rivals, like, and I suck at Marvel Rivals. I'm like, so do you. But it's like, I'm about to get my ult as Scarlet Witch. Okay, I'm gonna stand on the side here and see what angle I can like run into their team. Maybe when their tank is distracted, I can sneak up behind. Literally verbally narrating what you're doing and what you're planning on doing will fill a lot of space. Another one is read your Twitch chat. I don't know why I have to tell people this, but a lot of people just don't do that for some reason. Please just look at it every 30 seconds. Even if you're like, oh, I often don't get people in my stream, so I don't look at it. The off chance somebody does come in and you ignore them for 5 minutes, you just lost that person. And that's happened to me because I'll go watch a lot of small streamers and I'm sitting there like, I'll send messages and I'm completely ignored. And I'm like, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm partners, I shouldn't. No, but like, please respond. I was there for 5 minutes, okay? Like actively typing, oh my God, great play. That was great kill. Good job. And ignored. Like, it's just so frustrating because then I'm like, okay, I'm going to leave now because you're not responding. Like, what's the point of being a live streamer if you don't live react? Then just be a YouTuber at that point. So that one, this is like not in like any specific order. This is probably the most minor thing, but to be better at the game you're playing. So it's chill. You don't have to be an absolute unit at the game, but it does help to not watch somebody be like absolutely atrociously bad. So if you have gameplay can bring an appeal, and being bad is funny too. So there is an appeal to that, right? That adds to the humor of it. But for the most part, with better gameplay, you do bring in an audience, and people are like, well, it doesn't matter because I'm not good. I'm only plat. Yeah, but if you're plat, you're still better than like gold, silver, bronze, and iron players, depending on which game you're playing, right? You're still better than like 70% of the population. So getting a little bit better will give you things that you can teach other people as well, which gives an extra edge. And the way I look at it is any extra edge we can get is good. So that one on top of that. 5, streaming at a time that works for you. Because if you force yourself to stream at whatever time you think is good, like whatever the 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. PST that people are like throwing around, if you're a night owl, you're gonna be tired as hell trying to stream at those times. And I tried that. I tried forcing. I am a night owl like through and through. I slept at like 6 a.m. today. Like
That's when I got up.
cannot wake up. Yeah, I cannot wake up early. Like I literally, it's impossible. I would try to force myself to do afternoon streams, and it wouldn't work because it's so against my natural body clock. So even though the time that I stream at now is not really ideal, I stream at like 6 to 10 p.m., which is like chill. I used to be like 9 to 2 a.m. Which you would think is not ideal because, other English-speaking countries, you basically ostracize yourself from them. Like, I'm on the West Coast, I completely ostracized myself from East Coast viewers because I streamed way too late. But it didn't matter because what mattered was my streams were good quality because I was high energy, I was awake, and I was energized. So no matter what, anybody who came in there, even though there's like a less percentage of people on Twitch, they were still entertained because I was putting on the best show that I could give.
And what made you choose to pivot into the niche of the creator space from the gaming space?
Mm-hmm. I was doing League content. So, like, for a little backstory on TikTok, I started TikTok July 2021. Yeah, and I was like bored. Love the League videos. I was making League skits. I was literally posting like a skit a day. I'm not even kidding. It's so cringe. If you scroll all the way down my TikTok, you'll find them, but good luck sifting through like 4,000 videos. But I was making those videos and some of them are going viral, they're getting views, etc. But I was like, I want more. And people kept asking me because I grew pretty quickly. I was at like 3 viewers and then I jumped to like 20 in like a month and a half. So people were like, wait, you grew really fast. What happened? And I love teaching people. So I made a video, being like, here's what I did. And I was like really too shy to talk because I would get flamed for my voice. So I didn't even talk in the video.
For your voice?
And then people say that I sound like an obnoxious 13-year-old boy that I talk too fast, okay? Which is like, chill, I guess. I mean, if you're not into that, that's cool, bro. Just scroll. It's cool. But like, I would get dogged on because I talk too fast and stuff. So, and oh my God, you'll hear it in my old videos. I would like purposely pitch my voice up higher to sound more feminine, which is like so cringe to look back on. But it's, everybody wants to be like accepted. So even though I don't care about people's opinions really, like, I'll be like, okay, well, like I could fit more into like the societal beauty standard, conventional feminine norm. I don't know if I sound more feminine because my voice is a little deeper. But then I was like, fuck, I'm tired of this shit, bro. Like, whatever. Like, you get it, take it or leave it. But yeah, so I didn't even talk in the video. But that video did really well. And so I was like, okay. And then my friend made a POV video about her streaming journey. She had started streaming before I did. And I was like, wow, cool video. So I like replicated her skit essentially with my streaming journey. And that video went viral. The most viral video I had at that point. It was like 300K at that time, which is a lot for like 2021 TikTok, which is crazy. So I was like, wow, people want to see this. And I am somebody that I think anyways, that I have a good ability to recognize when there's a pivotal shift and to capitalize on that pivotal shift. So I recognized this is a crossroads right now. I could keep doing League content or I could full jump off the deep end for the stream advice stuff. And I'm going to jump off the deep end. Still love League. I still play that game to this day. But I was like, this is getting me views. I want to do this. And I love helping people. It brought me so much joy. People coming and being like, oh my God, you helped me get affiliate, da 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 da. So I like double, triple down. And my logic was, not only am I going to hard pivot into the space, it was not a popular niche at the time. It still really isn't. But there really weren't that many people doing it. But then I had the thought, okay, I'm going to enter the space and I'm going to compete the other people in the space by just making so much content that you basically only see my videos. That could be toxic, but basically, like, I know myself. What I don't have the like professional quality. I just can't do it. I'm way too scuffed. I experience way too many tech issues for that to happen, anyways. But what I can make up for in that is enthusiasm and personality. So I was like, you're getting scuff videos, but you're gonna get 3 a day. So because I know that I can work a lot. And so knowing that, I was like, this was my advantage over other people. Other people have the technical skill, the production quality. I have enthusiasm.
Yeah, that's great. It's great. And it reminds me of what Cup of Joe 5, he's a Call of Duty Warzone streamer.
Mm-hmm.
He's been on the show a few times, and he broke down gaming in general into 3 pieces. You have how good you are, like the actual skill. So it's like if you're so good, like I watch chess grandmasters because like they're just the best of the best of the best. You have your entertainment. So regardless of how good you are you hilarious and super captivating to watch? And then there's the teaching component. So are you a good educator? Are you good at articulating lessons and helping other people learn this thing that you are doing? Again, maybe you're not the best of the best, but you articulate it so well that you become a professor or a teacher or a tutor.
Yes.
And it's fascinating to hear that you just kind of shared a personal journey story, which are always like very fun, like how I did XYZ. I'm curious though, because that still sounds very kind of adjacent, right? Like people are following you. It makes sense that did well, right? If someone is a part of your audience or was at that time, and clearly that video, you said it was the most viral that you had at that point. I would love to know what your thoughts are on pivoting in general, and maybe in a more difficult scenario where someone wants to pivot into something that is completely different from what they are doing. Maybe an example is I met with a creator last month. He's a wrestler, like a WWE wrestler, and films that kind of content. And he's like, I really want to get into the personal finance space. Should I do it on my same YouTube channel? And I was like, I don't think you should. I think that is like way too hard of a pivot. So anyway, what are your thoughts or tasks or checklists that you would have someone do or ask themselves if they are going to make a hard pivot into something new?
Yeah, I can give my 2 cents on this because I'm talking about myself a lot here, but I've done 2 hard pivots in my career. One recently. So that's what I think it is relevant because it was YouTube related. The first one, like I was saying, was the League of Legends gaming into streaming advice content. That is a straight 180 pivot because it's not the only thing related is streaming, but I was making League skits. I wasn't using League. It wasn't League clips. There was no gameplay. So that was a hard pivot. And then on my YouTube channel, hard pivot of educational videos to drama. Another 180 hard pivot. Yeah. My thought process is it's one of 2 things. Either you on your main channel, so for the WWE person, if you've made a video or 2 about the topic you want to pivot into and that popped the hell off, then I would full send hard pivot. Now, if that never happened, as in maybe you made a finance video or 2 and it didn't do well, or it didn't do as well as you hoped, so you know you need to cook this more, then you should make a second channel for it. Because you don't want to kill your main channel by trying to work out and iron out this second content niche that you want to enter into. So like using myself as an example, my main TikTok channel is right now streaming advice, personal finance stuff. I like lifestyle content. I have snuck in lifestyle content here and there into the channel because I do think everybody should experiment with their content. Over time, you might exhaust a niche. So you always want to kind of like not really operate with one foot out the door, more so operate like you're window shopping. You know, you're kind of looking around to see if there's anything else that could work for you. So occasionally sneak in a video or 2 from a different adjacent niche that you kind of want to explore, see how that does. So I tried lifestyle on my account. It didn't really do well. I like lifestyle content, beauty content. I still want to do it. So because it wasn't performing well on the main account, I made a second account, a shitpost account. It's all going there. Travel videos, all going there because it's not doing well on my main account. Now, another example of another creator. There's a creator by the name of Jellybean Sweets on TikTok. She just does like eating videos. She used to do Just Dance and then she was doing like mukbang content for a while. She started posting about how she was kind of tired of doing the mukbangs. So she was sneaking lifestyle videos in there. Now the lifestyle videos were doing really well for her. So if I were her, honestly, I would have full pivoted into the lifestyle because one, she doesn't want to do the mukbang content anymore. She said she was tired of it. But secondly, because the second content she was trying to do is performing so well, it is an opportunity to like straight dive headfirst to capitalize on it. Myself, as an example, with my YouTube channel, I had a YouTube channel by the name of Katliente where I was posting advice videos 3 times a week, educational stuff, for years. And it didn't perform well. It performed okay. I was getting like maybe an average of like 1,000 views per video, but it was growing slowly, a lot slower than I would like it to. Then I made one drama video because I was like, fuck it, why not? Let me just see how it does. If it flops, I'm going to unlist it. And it blew up to like 150K, which is like really well performing relative to my channel at the time. I think at the time I was at like 26,000 subscribers with like a 1K view average per video. Only reason that I had subscribers was because I pumped out a lot of content. That video did well, the drama video. So I was like, I'll make a second one. Made a second one. That one blew up. It was like 200K. I was like, fuck it. We're completely annihilating all the educational stuff. I am once a day doing drama videos, killing the educational stuff. I'm just going to make it. But I want to do education because I want to help people. So I just made a second channel. And once a week, I'm just going to dump videos there. But it was literally a hard pivot because the test videos I did blew up and they worked. If your test videos don't work, please do not 180 pivot. It will not work.
Yeah, this is really, really good. So I almost see like a Venn diagram here. And so on this side, you have what your channel or platform usually posts about. And then over here is this new thing you want to experiment with or throw in or potentially make a pivot to. And then based on 1 or 2 attempts, it sounds like you're saying like that would be enough to know.
Only a couple, like 3 or less, truly.
Mm-hmm. And then how big that overlapping section is between those 2 bubbles, that will tell you whether or not it's worth to pursue.
Yeah, whether it got views or not. And like relative to your previous content. Like if it blew up relative to your previous content, please keep doing it and please capitalize on it. The reason why I always tell people don't experiment that much, like 3 or less, is because if you keep doing the videos and they aren't doing well, you're going to kill your existing channel because your existing audience is going to see that you're posting these videos that they're not interested in and it's not getting views. So if it gets views, you're going to get a new audience that comes in to fill the people that left. But if your video is flopping, then you're not filling the people that will leave if you keep flooding your account with this new niche that your existing audience isn't interested in. So 3 or less, if it's not working, if you still like the idea, make a second account, put it on there, or revisit the idea later, like in a couple months.
You've been doing this for years. As you continue to grow and level up in your creator career, what is getting easier and what is getting harder?
That is a really good question, honestly. It's getting harder as my mental health. No, I'm kidding. But what honestly is getting easier is with experience, kind of recognizing things because pattern recognition, recognizing the pivotal moments is coming easier. Like honing in on what works and what doesn't work is getting easier because I have a past experience to compare to. Like, okay, when this video performs this much better than the previous video, then this is like what I should do afterwards. Like you kind of have that roadmap in the back of your mind, etc. What is getting harder is time management because I don't know about you, but like, as you create content longer, you start, branching off with side projects and side projects and side projects. Now you have a bunch of side projects and you're like, oh crap, I only have 24 hours in the day. And now I have all these projects that I need to run. And managing that is difficult. And I have 2 management teams and an editor. And trying to juggle all of that, I'm like, recently I've been very tired because I'm like, there's a lot on my plate right now. So dealing with that is difficult, but it's a good problem to have, a lot of projects that are doing well that you have to then like kind of juggle.
Yeah. There's this idea of demand constrained, like demand problems and supply problems. And in the beginning, there's just this demand problem of like, oh my God, I'm going live. I'm posting videos. I'm working so hard and no one cares. I get 7 views. And I would love, I'm begging for supply. Like, oh, there's so much demand for my stuff that I don't even have enough time to do all of this. And then lo and behold, you get to that point and it's just like, at least a big lesson for me and that I've seen in any entrepreneurial endeavor is just like, it's always hard. It's always hard. It's just what is hard will change over time. And it's hard to not have viewers. It's hard to have no one care about any of the stuff that you're making. And I can only imagine how hard it is to just feel like you literally don't have enough time or energy to do all the things that
Oh, yeah.
you want to do.
But I've been on both sides of the coin. I would rather this hard than the no viewers hard, because I did that too, and that sucked.
And I would imagine, I'm not that I'm some success story, but as I have leveled up in my own entrepreneurial endeavors, what is really hard is that you think like, oh, like once if I just get a little bit more successful, like, okay, then then like XYZ will be easier. And it gets even harder because you have bigger and better opportunities constantly coming and knocking at your door. So it's like this inverse thing where the better you get, the harder it becomes to say no to really awesome things.
Oh, yeah. That is definitely, like, a really privileged but real problem to have as a creator, like myself, going through that problem as well. Like, it was like that for a long time when I was grinding, because I was grinding in college, like, doing that, and then had a job. So I was working a full-time job and trying to grind content, whatever. It was always that hustle mentality. It feels like there's, like, a fire, kind of like that you're trying to outrun, where it's like, I need to work harder, I need to work faster because I need to secure my spot in the space, and I need to secure my spot financially, because the finances of being a full-time creator is so volatile that you feel like you can't rest or have any security, because if I don't work, even being like freelance and working for yourself is great, but it's like, if I don't work, I don't make money. Like, that's just how it is. So it was very stressful for a very long time. Only like in 2024 did I feel like I could really, like the
Hmm.
second half, I could take my foot off the brake and be like, okay, I can like chill a little bit more. I can relax and like try to take it a little easier. Now in 2025, because in America we're in a recession, well, alleged recession. We don't know technically yet for sure, but whatever. Um, that pressure's on again, of like, you gotta hustle, you gotta work, because opportunities are a little bit slower now because budgets are being cut.
Have you always been this driven? You are a workforce, and it doesn't seem like you really battle with like, should I do this today? Or like, you're like, all right, 3 times a day. Sure, we'll do it. I'm going to
Yeah.
outwork everybody. Like, where do you think this comes from?
I've always been like this, like, ever since oh my god, ever since I was a kid. It's actually so bad. Well, maybe it's genetic. My mom is a really hard worker too, but, like, I always knew from the get-go, like, I didn't grow up poor, but I was not wealthy. We were, like, lower middle class growing up, like, didn't have cable because cable cost too much money type beat.
Hmm.
But I knew I wanted money, and when I was a kid, I really wanted money because I had all the stuff that I wanted, and my, parents didn't have that much money, so they were like, "Yeah, you could get, like, a toy, like, every once in a while." Very grateful for that because a lot of people don't get that at all, but I wanted more, and I've always known that I've wanted more. In order to get more, you need money. So, I, like, sold candy in middle school. In high school, I would make jewelry to sell. In high school, I did, like, freelance graphic design. I would make illustrations for people, sold that. In college, I had a boba keychain and sticker business that I was selling to try to make money. Like, I would go and do, like, focus groups to go make money. I would go on Craigslist gigs and do gig work that sometimes was a little sketch. I would sometimes bring a friend. I was doing this in high school too, the focus group gig work to try to go and make money. Um, I've done a whole bunch of other crap to try to make money. Like, I know what I want in life. I want a nice house where I could chillax. I want a retirement fund. I want a trust fund for my, not trust, but like an educational college fund for my kids. And I need the money to get that. And nothing is going to stop me from making it happen.
It's
So
badass.
I'm willing to work to make it happen.
Yeah, it's inspiring. It's great.
Oh, thank you.
Um,
I think I'm a little delusional, but I'll take that.
yeah, probably for sure.
Just a little bit.
No. I had Steph Smith on the show, and she articulated the difference between people who follow you and people who respect you, and that they're
Yes.
not always the same. And I think there's also a difference between like people who care about you, who feel connected to you, the creator, versus just following you for, I don't know, XYZ value that they get. How have you, Kat, intentionally built community in your audience?
What Steph says is so true. I want to like reiterate on this one because there are a lot of creators with a big audience that is just waiting for their creator to fail. They're just hate watching. Resilient Jenkins, a lot of other creators like James Charles. There's so many. So what she said is so true. And that is very, very toxic. That's an audience you ideally don't want to have. It's one where your career is a house of cards, essentially. What I've actively done to try to avoid that. And of course, I do get people that hate watch me, which is chill. Keep watching. Give me the views. Thank you. but, but live streaming is really helpful to build a community because you get the live time interaction with your followers, with your audience, and you can give them that rapport, that banter, and they can learn a side of you and you can learn a side of them. Like I get my regulars coming in. I'm like, yeah, I know you had a birthday. Like, how was your birthday? Like, oh, I knew that you just went to Japan. Like, how was your Japan trip? My memory is so dog. It's not even funny. ADHD. Wow, I'm unmedicated. It's probably pretty obvious. But, like, it's hard to remember stuff, but I really try to remember, like, my community and the things they're doing, etcetera. Another thing too is, like, people love hearing their names said out loud, etcetera. So, like, when people come in, I'll read your name, whatever. When I respond to comments, I will name them. I'll be like, "Thank you, Seth," or whatever, right? So that they feel like so they know for a fact I'm not sending a copy and paste message, which I'm not. I always, like, manually type it for the most part. Sometimes YouTube recommends comments that look suspiciously like what I wrote, so I'll just tap that. But, like, I try to name them so they know that I'm actively reading the comments, I'm actively taking the advice, and showing my audience that they're heard. With my YouTube channel, in the end of my videos, a lot of times I'll be like, hey, by the way, if you think there's anything I could do better in my videos, please let me know. Like, I'm always open to constructive criticism, and people will give constructive criticism in the comments. They'll be like, hey, Kat, like, I do think that you do tend to, like, repeat points too much in your videos. It's like, it gets a little tiring to hear. I don't take it personally, which is like a whole side thing. I think a lot of creators take their content personally, and it's a detriment to the progression of their career. But I look at it, I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I felt like I was being kind of annoying even while recording, so it must be annoying if you're hearing me. I was like, my bad. I'll be better. Thank you for letting me know. Like, showing that their thoughts and opinions are heard. That is a big one. You don't want to be fighting with your audience because it makes you look petty. And as a creator, you should be the bigger person between you and your audience. It's not necessarily fair because sometimes the audience is in the wrong, but you just have an expectation that you should operate on a level of, like, professionalism that I try to keep too, right? Where it's like, even if, people are, like, commenting some, like, hateful things, I don't engage in it. The only time I will engage if it is, like, a false rhetoric, like they are spreading something that is completely untrue, I'll comment once to correct the narrative to be like, "That never happened," and then that's it. No more attention, etcetera. A big pitfall that a lot of creators fall into for community building is if they're constantly engaging with the haters, whatever. Your audience will sympathize with you in the beginning, and then over time, they'll see that you're constantly falling for this rage bait, and they will lose trust in you as a creator. So keeping that trust and keeping that air of professionalism helps. And you can still be funny and joke around, whatever, but, like, keeping you are a creator and you operate within the professional bounds of a creator. Like, keeping that in mind is, in my opinion, really important.
I completely agree. That's why whenever anybody gives me any sort of, like, critical feedback or, like, recommends any change, I just block them and ban them from.
You're like, I don't want to hear it. I'm perfect.
Yeah, and that's how I get so good. That's how I get better. It just makes me feel good. No, I think that's great. And you mentioned pitfalls that
Yes.
streamers, creators make. Obviously, in your niches in the streaming space, like, you probably have mentioned a few of these in your own personal story, but you mentioned patterns earlier that you see over and over again. Like, what are the 3 biggest mistakes that you see newer streamers or just streamers in general making?
Oh my God. Sorry, my cat just woke up. He was napping in the bathroom. He's coming to me all grumpy, like, oh, why are you yapping out here? Sorry.
Cats are welcome. What kind of cat is it?
Good point. Let me know. The mutt.
What?
I have no idea who he is. He's a stray that we found, or that, like, whatever, the shelter found, then my friend got it, and then my friend couldn't take care of him, so then now he's mine.
Was there orange
looking
there?
at me
It looked
that
like
grumpy
almost
face.
calico colors.
No, he's so he has tabby patterning, but the tuxedo white. So somebody in my stream called him a bicolor tabby, so I'm rolling with that.
Sounds
No idea. People think he's Maine Coon, but I feel like everybody with a fluffy cat ever thinks their cat is a Maine Coon, and I don't know, man. He looks like a big old rat, but I love him.
Great. Cool. Welcome to the
But
show.
yeah, the 3 biggest pitfalls. Oh, I could rant about this for a
Please do. We're here for 5 hours, so take your time.
I could rant for a long time. I'm sorry. I need to get medicated. Oh my God. But one is, like I said earlier, people take their stuff way too personally, like their content. I get it. It's your content. It's your baby. You worked really hard on it. You do. But your content is not you. It's only a facet of you. It's not it's not a representation of your soul, your being, etc. And a lot of people, when they get any sort of criticism or whatever about their content, they are unwilling to take it because it is as if you are personally insulting them, their family, and their deceased grandparents. Like, it's not that deep, truly. It's not like your full representation, you know what I mean? And some people do view it that way, but I'm just saying don't take it personally. Always look at your content or try to with an objective lens. Like, how can this be better? If I were scrolling my For You page and this video comes up, would I watch it? Would I not? A lot of people get way too self-absorbed in their content. They're like, yeah, this is the other side. They're like, my content's amazing. Like, it's perfect. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, you're in it, so you probably like it. But if a random person who doesn't know you scrolls and watches this video, they are going to find it boring. And it's so, I feel like a lot of people these days are too sensitive in the sense that, personally speaking, where any personal criticism, any harsh truth, any like difficult feelings, they don't want to sit with it. To sit with your video and look at it and be like, wow, this sucks. That's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to hear that. It's uncomfortable to hear that feel that something you work so hard on isn't good. But it doesn't mean that you suck. It doesn't mean that you're unskilled in any way. It means you've just got progress to go. You've just got growth to make, and that's chill. I look at my old videos, and even when I edited my old videos, I looked at it, I was like, this is absolute dog shit. And I would spend 4 hours of my stupid League of Legends video, and I looked at it and I knew it looked bad. But I personally, maybe because I'm like way too desensitized, I don't know, but I never looked at it as like a, wow, this video sucks, so therefore I have no worth as a human being and I should just like commit horrible sins to myself. But instead I was like, okay, how can I make my videos better? Maybe I should watch a YouTube video on how to edit because I'm making it up and it's not working, you know? Like stuff like that. When you remove the personal feelings aside, you can objectively look at your content and then see how you can make it better. That's one. Number 2 is doing the same thing for way too long. And I'm low-key a victim of that as well. So I am self-aware enough to recognize that I do fall into this pitfall. But when you do the same thing over and over and over again, you know, it might be working for you for a while, which is why you're growing. But eventually algorithms change, audiences change, tastes change, and what you're doing will not work forever. You need to change and shift with the times, with the meta. Like currently the TikTok meta is really highly edited videos, which for me is just out of my comfort zone because I am just not like a super high quality person. I like scuffed videos and that's just what I do best. But it means that I should learn because that is the meta right now and I need to adapt to it. Like everyone else is adapting to the changing spaces. But if you are doing the same thing for way too long, it is so easy to get lost in the motion. Wake up, do this, do the stream. Hey, sorry, he's eating my other chair. But yeah, get in the motion of doing something. And then next thing you know, bam, 4 years has passed and you're still doing the same thing. And everyone has now moved forward and left you behind because you didn't actively try to work to improve and change with the changing meta of the content spaces. And point number 3, and this goes with point number 1, but it's you. Everyone is their worst enemy, and a lot of creators self-sabotage. A lot. Where imposter syndrome, good opportunities will come. I keep hitting my mic. They won't take it because they think they're not worth it. Or a video will do well and they don't capitalize on it because they think it's a fluke. You know, those corn. Sorry, he's eating other stuff that he shouldn't be eating on a computer. But those things, those thoughts in your head sabotage you as a creator. Literally, I'm telling you right now, gaslight the hell out of yourself. Okay, just tell yourself that you're the best creator ever. Tell yourself that all these opportunities that come to you, you deserve it. And that you obviously still you have a long way to go, but you will get there and you will work hard to make it happen. Literally, just if you don't believe it, just keep lying to yourself, man. It's chill, right? But the self-sabotage hurts.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So taking things too personally or feeling too like your own self-worth is attached to the content that you make. The last one is you're the problem. It's all a mental game.
Just don't self-sabotage, you know? Like,
Mhm.
you can hold yourself back and not even realize it.
Yeah. And then the second one was just doing the exact same thing over and over again
Yes.
without changing. And I'm curious about that piece. You said that you're kind of victim to that. How so?
Yes. Yeah, like, I've been doing the same video format for, like, forever now. For, like, years, like, 3, 4 years, and currently, like I said, the meta right now is really highly edited, high-quality videos, so I think my scripting is fine, but I should go and alter the way that my video is filmed to fit this high-quality, more poppy, more aesthetic vibe that is currently trending on socials right now, but I'm lazy. That's just it.
I
That's why I haven't changed it.
I think we have clarified that you are not lazy.
I'm lazy in some aspects. Sometimes I'm like, well, I just pick my battles, and I feel like, it could be better, but I'm gonna focus on my YouTube, so you can chill for now.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it's so valuable to dive into mistakes, right? Because I think in coaching, right? That's my background. I've been a coach
Yes.
for years,
Mm.
and in a session or when someone is trying to work through something or build a plan for something, it's so fascinating how when we stay in the sort of positive, like what is possible, like what could someone do,
Yeah.
it can feel a bit overwhelming and just like, okay, yeah, like, okay, I've heard this before. And what's an interesting exercise is inverting the question. So instead of, Kat, what do I do to be successful on Twitch? It's like, okay, well, you could share principles and we could talk
Yeah.
about, like maybe some specific tactics and strategies, but it's just like at the end of the day, it's just like you got to put in a lot of time and work and like it's like 517 things done consistently over a long period of time.
Mhm.
It's just it's kind of hard to conceptualize. But
It's a lot.
if I said, Kat, what do I do to make sure I never grow on Twitch? I have to make sure that no matter what, I cannot grow on Twitch. If I get anything more than like 10, 10 viewers at it, like then everything will combust and I will explode. So it's like
Mm.
I love diving into like what are the mistakes? Like it's just so much easier to conceptualize the negative and inverting those
Yeah.
questions.
Wait, what did you coach? Also, I'm just curious
Yeah, well,
because that's actually really cool.
I started my entrepreneurial career as a life coach, just a one-on-one life coach,
Oh.
helping people level up their lives. And I started to get a couple just randomly through no effort. I
Uh-huh.
kind of you kind of become your niche in the coaching space. Like if
Mm.
you just coach everybody over enough
Uh-huh.
like a long enough time horizon, you start to just find you attract or are attracted to specific types of people. And I just became kind of close with people who were building businesses, and then in
Mhm.
particular a few content creators. So
Mm.
he's public about this. Cup5, I mentioned him earlier. I started working
Mhm.
with him. He was at like 2,000 subscribers, and then we worked together all the way until he became a full-time content creator. And I was like, this
That's
is.
so
I was
cool.
like, I was like, that's so cool. I saw it. Like, I saw the growth. I saw, like, we built the systems, and it took a couple of years, but to
Mhm.
see him fulfill his dream of quitting his 9 to 5 job and doing YouTube and streaming full time, I was like, I want to do this for more people. And
Yeah.
so, hence, Grindstone was born. It's the kind of life coaching for content creators to just help them level up, stay accountable, and go full time. So that's my nutshell story.
That is sick. I love that. Being able to, like, see somebody's growth like that must be crazy.
It's
Like, I
insane.
have somebody in my community too. Not like you with, like, active life coaching. He just pops in and then I've coached him, like, here or there, like, "Hey, here's what you do," whatever. And then he's at, like, 1K viewers on Twitch now,
Wow.
and I'm like, "I love to see it." And I was nowhere near hands-on like you. I was kinda like, here and there, like, "Oh, do this, or just whatever," right? But it's so, like, rewarding to see that. It's just that is so cool, though. Oh my god, you must feel, like, so fulfilled. Sorry, I'm, like, derailing so much. Oh my god.
It's great. No, I love it. I have my dream job. There's nothing else I'd rather do. And then in the
Aw.
meantime, I get to, like, I just love this space, right? I just get to talk
Mhm.
to people who know significantly more and have way more experience than I do, and just have fun conversations like this. It's very fun. Um,
Yay.
and so,
Oh, yes, the question. I'm
this
gonna steal your your one-liner. May I? That would be a great TikTok video one-liner intro. 10 things you should not do. 10 things you should do if you never want to grow on Twitch.
Yes.
I'll tag you. I'll be like, at Dillan.
Yeah, great.
Intro.
Keep it. It's yours. And so we just went over some of the pitfalls and mistakes that
Yes.
you see other streamers making, and I want to dive into maybe more specific mistakes that you've made. And in particular, I would love to hear the most damaging mistake, like maybe regrettable mistake that you've made in your creator career. But then also I want to know the best mistake that you've ever made, like the most valuable, maybe painful still, but the most valuable mistake.
These are all this is a really good question. Let me think. Well, in case your community wants to hear the answer to the things you should do if you never want to grow, just because sometimes people are like, oh, but what about that question? Yeah, stream for 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, nonstop, and never post on your other social medias and never talk to your Twitch chat. And that's how you never grow. Perfect. But onto the question that you were saying, though, I would say the most probably detrimental mistake. Well, I actually never really look at my career like that. I'm never like, oh, this was a detrimental mistake. Like, this ruined my career. I never view it in a negative way. Like, people get tired of how optimistic I am, but it is what it is. Kill it with kindness, I guess. I don't know. But I view them as more of like, oops, or like learning experiences, etc. I don't operate with like any regret. So I just think it's like pointless to like regret things because it already happened. So it is what it is. That's like my life motto. But I would say it is not doing things sooner would be my biggest mistake. Because there were things that I was toying with the idea of, but I just took too long. Like TikTok. I started TikTok July 2021, which is still early compared to a lot of people. But I was thinking of starting it in like 2020. Sorry, so I started 2021, my bad. But I was thinking of starting it in 2020. I was just waffling on the idea. So I started late, And I'm typically somebody that jumps the gun pretty easily too. Like I am very gung ho to start things, but even then, like those things, I wish I started sooner. Like with my YouTube pivoting my YouTube channel, that was something that I would have. Well, actually, I'll use that for the other part. But same thing with Twitch. Like trying to improve my Twitch stream, I should have done it sooner. But those are things like it's a mistake because I didn't do it earlier is not something that I think anybody should ever hold over their heads because there's always situational context and things, etc., surrounding it that maybe it wouldn't have worked out if you did it sooner, whatever. But that's like the biggest thing. I truly don't like regret anything in my career / think that anything that I did was a huge mistake. And I'm very grateful to not have like horrible experience with the people to like warrant those to be mistakes. Also because my memory sucks. I probably forgot it. But the thing that I think was my best mistake was the YouTube channel rebrand. Because that was a perfect storm that out of everything in my career, I rarely attribute things to luck because I'm egotistic, so I think it's all me. But that is the one thing that I do think was luck because America's entering into a recession. Every time there's a recession, marketing budgets get cut first. So sponsorships are my biggest source of earnings, which we'll probably talk about earnings later. And I felt that the money was coming in a little slower. Like the opportunities are coming in a little slower. And I was starting to worry because I knew the recession was coming in. I live in LA. Stuff's expensive here. And I was like, yeah, if my biggest source of earning gets cut because all these marketing budgets get cut, I am cooked. So I need to find a way to make money ASAP. And I was like, oh no, like my money is going, not like I wasn't struggling or anything, but I was like, when you see the number kind of like you feel it slowing down and America's entering into a recession, it doesn't feel good. But with my YouTube channel, I literally don't even know what demon possessed my brain because all I post is educational. And then out of the blue, I had this one segment on my stream where I was talking about this drama. And I was like, I might as well cut it for YouTube because I already talked about it. I just might as well throw it up there. It literally was I'm always like, try to double dip with your content. Kill two birds with one stone because it was already a clip from stream. Might as well use it. Put it up on YouTube. It blew up. And I accidentally discovered an untapped niche that way. Of a lot of people love drama videos, a lot of drama creators, commentary creators, a lot of art specific creators who talk about art tips, whatever. Nobody was doing art drama. And I accidentally discovered, because I was talking about art drama content of like people stealing stuff, then like art specifically, I discovered this niche accidentally. And that, in my opinion, is the only accident that's ever happened in my career. That was the best mistake, because my YouTube channel is now a significant chunk of my earnings, and it allowed me to breathe. That's why it's the second half of 2024, I was able to take it easier, because when all of your earnings comes from your indirect work, not even your, or like kind of like your, I'm like waffling on my words, but it comes from like you working, as in for sponsorships. I get the deal, which was my biggest source of earnings at the time. I make the video, and then I get paid way later. I don't know when I'm gonna get paid, because they're always notoriously slow to pay. And the money comes really inconsistently. Other ways I was making money at the time, the TikTok Creator Fund. But it is like your earnings are not direct. You never know, like at least with a sponsorship, it's a direct correlation. They pay me X amount for this video. I post the video, I will get X amount. I don't know when I'll get it. They say they're gonna give it to me in like 30 days. Don't know, right? But I know I'll get this much money. With like the TikTok Creator Fund, I'll post a video. I think the video will do well. It flops. Well, now I don't get paid. There is no direct correlation between video plus money, and that is scary. YouTube, you could argue it's the same thing. I post a video, I don't know how much I'm going to make, but I have so many videos on my channel that I can guarantee I'm going to make a baseline of X amount per month. And that comfort, it's almost like a salary. It's still frustrating, because it's still like, if I don't post videos, then I'm not gonna make money. But at least I can treat it more like a regular job, where it's like I can schedule 7 videos and then go on vacation for a week and come back, and I will still make money. So that is good to know.
Yeah.
So that was a long rant, but best mistake in my career, yes.
We're here to rant. This is great. And would love to just immediately take that opportunity to dive into your revenue streams as a creator. Yeah, whatever you're open to sharing, give us the dirty deets.
Okay, let me think, because these numbers are going to pull off the top of my head. I didn't pull my March earnings because I forgot, because I'm lazy. Twitch, I don't make that much money from Twitch. And again, I'm grateful for any amount of money I can make from content creation. I have to keep adding this in, because I am grateful, but the big thing that creators don't realize is that if you post videos, people sometimes only see that video and they don't know who you are as a person. So I have to leave a ton of disclaimers, because otherwise, like, it's gonna sound like I'm ungrateful. And people have commented that in my money videos. They're like, "You're so ungrateful." I'm like, huh? Everybody who knows me IRL knows that I am not this asshole you think I am. But because videos stand alone, the video needs to contain all the context necessary.
Especially
So I
shorts
have to
or
keep
like
adding.
clips from
Yeah.
bigger videos. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I have to keep adding these disclaimers. Like, I am very grateful to be able to be a full-time creator. Don't get me wrong. Every day I wake up, I'm so glad I'm not working corporate, because I used to. I didn't like that. So yeah. But Twitch, a lot of people think that you're gonna make a fuck ton of money as a Twitch partner. I make on average $400 a month from Twitch. Very grateful for that money, regardless. But it is by no means like a huge chunk of my earnings. It's one of my lowest. Probably because I stream very little. I only stream at most 3 days a week for 4 hours per stream. So I'm only at most streaming 12 hours per week. So if you think about it numbers wise, for the hours I put in, it's great. Again, very, very grateful. But there's just a misconception that it's a big chunk of earnings, when it's likely a lot of times not.
And that's all of Twitch, like donation subs.
Yeah, I get like 1 donation every 3 months.
Oh, okay.
And typically it's for like $5. So it's chill, yeah. I really don't make money, because a big thing too is like I tell my community not to donate to me. I really don't want their money. I don't want to live off the generosity of my audience, and I don't want my audience to give me money, because I don't feel comfortable like taking, like money gifts like that. I would rather you pay me for a service than me existing.
Right.
You know what I mean? It feels a little. I just personally don't like it, because I have my own morals, and I'm not trying to say that like other Twitch streamers don't have morals, whatever. I just morally don't like taking money from people when I'm not like doing something, to give you something back. That's just me. Ironic, I'm a streamer, but YouTube, my biggest source of revenue right now. I make anywhere between 10 to 13K a month off YouTube, probably. Anywhere in that range. It will tell me that I'm going to make 12K, and then the paycheck will hit, and it's 10.9K. And I'm like, okay, where did that 1K go? But, I don't know. Anywhere between, I guess, 11 to 13K probably from YouTube. Almost all of that earnings is from long form, because the last time I posted a short that wasn't sponsored was 2 months ago. Oh, and one yesterday. Besides that, 2 months ago between those two. So it's all like long form earnings. TikTok creator funds right now, it's about this month. I'm probably gonna make 700, but I've been slacking on my TikTok videos. So previous months, anywhere between like $200 to $300 from that. Um, my Etsy shop, I sell digital art on Etsy, which is another sort of passive income. I uploaded it there, and it's like chilling, and it still makes me money. It was making me like 1K per month. I think now it's probably like 700 or 800 per month. Dropped down a little bit, but it's really nice because I literally don't touch it. It runs itself.
Hmm.
And it just sells for me and I make money. Love it. So, complete side tangent, but if you're a creator and you have a skill that you can sell, there's always people who are always like, make a digital course and sell the digital course. I personally don't have one. I see the value in courses, and way too many people also abuse it. So, morally, I don't want to devalue my brand by adding a course. For my brand specifically, because I'm very like, I think everybody has a different brand, and people with a much more professional, high quality, like production value thing can sell a course and it will fit their brand. For my brand, I'm very like, I'm with the people type thing. And a lot of people have expressed like discomfort with courses or like bad experiences with it. So I know I could make more money if I sell a course. I know for a fact I could. I've actively chosen not to because I think my brand image is more important.
There's definitely a negative connotation to courses. And
Yeah.
I mean, I see this a lot too, just being in the coaching space. Like people have misconceptions of coaching in general. But I would say that you do provide courses. They're just free and they are your content.
That's true. Yeah. Like I have like guides and stuff. They're all free though. Like I didn't charge for any of them. So because I believe in like a big pillar that I've always stood my content on is I believe in transparency, financial transparency, information transparency. And so I have made guides and stuff completely free because I'm like, I want you to make money as a creator. Like go get that bag, do it. If you want to donate as a thank you, I'll appreciate that. But you absolutely don't have to because I was in that position when I was in college and I wanted to be a streamer and everything was gate kept. Nobody was telling you information about how to grow, whatever. And I felt bad, just was frustrating. So I was like, I want to be that resource for y'all. So I don't want to paywall stuff. I knew I could make more money with it, but I don't want to. So that was a whole side tangent about digital goods though. But if you do have a service or something else you could sell, I feel like it does, from a brand perspective, add more depth to you as a creator. Because not only am I viewed as just like an educator, somebody who does this, I also do art. Yeah. And it is relatively present in a lot of my content. So it's like in the thumbnail of all my videos on my YouTube channel. So that adds like an extra depth to you. It allows people to relate to you better so you can capture a wider audience and it makes you seem more human. That's like a complete side tangent though, about branding. But Etsy, Threads bonus program. So I thought I got kicked out of the program because they didn't re-invite me, but then I got paid for it anyways. So then now I still think I'm in it. But I was making $500 a month from it.
This is Threads?
Yes.
On Instagram?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, they pay you to post on there. If you aren't on it, go on there. Post literally like all I do is make threads because they pay you per. It's like a weird system. So it's like you need X number of threads to hit 750 views to qualify. So then you need 7 qualifying threads for your first payout of like $75. Then you need another 10 to turn that $70 to $140. Then to turn that $140 to $225, you need another 14. And then to turn that $225 to like $350, you need another like X amount. It scales up like that. It's really finicky. But if you just post threads, like I know it sounds trippy, but like a long thread, like multiple comments replying to each other, and you make it educational, you wham bam hit the 7 in like one go.
Wow. I didn't know.
Free $500. Yeah, you should get on it. Like, it's really great for educators too, because it's so easy to post like long threads as an educator.
Yeah, wow. Let's end this conversation right now so I can go ahead and do that. Pay for my.
Right now, time to post. Yeah.
Cool.
Highly recommend that. So I'll count the 500. Sorry. As part of the income.
Yeah, great. I was just gonna ask if you could take me through your Etsy shop. You said it basically runs itself. Like, what does that mean? What does that look like?
So I have an Etsy shop where I sell digital goods. It's not the digital goods you think about. Okay, like for Twitch, you have Twitch assets like emotes, overlays, sub badges, panels, whatever. I made art for all of that. I have probably like 500 and something listings on my Etsy shop. of artwork. So you could buy emotes from me. I have like, I don't know, almost 100 sets of emotes I've made, like 50 sets of panels, whatever. And it's a digital good. So, and it's pay to use. So like multiple people can buy the same thing. So one emote pack, if there's like 6 emotes in it, I'll charge like $6. People will buy it on Etsy, they download it, then they upload it to their Twitch stream and they can just use the emotes. So it runs itself basically because it's a digital good. So therefore I don't need to ship you a product or whatever. Once you buy it, you instantly get access to the files. So once I upload it, I'm basically good there. And it's run itself for like years. I was actively grinding my Etsy shop in 2021 because I graduated college. I told my parents, my Chinese immigrant parents, that I was going to be a full-time creator, and they were not happy with that, that's for sure. So they were like, Kat, you need to make money. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'll try. Thanks. I was making money at the time, but it was like, $4,000, $5,000 a month. I needed to make more. And so I was actively grinding my Etsy shop for the second half of 2021, all of 2022. And I made the 500 listings like during that time, basically. And I've made more listings since, but I rarely do it now because my hands are in like different projects. So the Etsy, it's like running itself. It's chill. But yeah, it operates itself. It's great.
That does sound great. It's funny too. I don't know if you knew this, but in China, if you ask kids what they want to be when they grow up, the number one answer is astronaut. And in the United States,
wow,
the number one answer is influencer or content creator.
Yeah, it's like 50% of kids now want to be influencers or creators or something.
Yeah. And so I'm sure your parents were just like, we should have never come to the US, damn it.
I know. No, they literally, it was like, well, this is my backstory, but trippy. My whole life I wanted to be a doctor. It wasn't one of those like parents made me. It was like I genuinely thought the human body was fascinating and I wanted to become a pathologist. Then I go into college and I realized I like the fun facts of biology and not the Krebs cycle of biology. And I didn't want to go further in that. And I was kind of stuck. So that's, it snowballed, but we ended up in the content side of things. But for them, it was absolute whiplash because they were like, what do you mean my daughter, who I didn't even have to pressure into becoming a doctor, wanted to become a doctor? And now she comes out of college with like blue hair and wants to be a streamer? What? Yeah, it was like, that was something. They love me and my mom watches my streams. It was her birthday yesterday. She was in my stream and we were wishing her happy
Mom.
birthday. Yeah. And my dad will text in my family group chat. He's like, I was your first like today. And then he just sends a screenshot every single day. I was your first like. I was your first like again. Because he knows I upload 10 a.m. on the dot because it's scheduled. It's so wholesome.
That's beautiful. That's amazing.
Yeah. It took him a long way to get there though. Because my dad thought I was a cam streamer. Because he didn't know what a streamer meant. So he was like, it was an awkward conversation. I go downstairs and he's like, using my legal name, Catherine.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, Dad, what? He was like, do you keep your clothes on? And I was like, oh, Dad, what do you mean? I was like, I stream education. And then my parents were like, what do people have to learn from you? What can you teach people? Like, why are they watching you to learn stuff? I was like, I swear I do education, guys. It only took me like showing them my streams and what I was doing on stream. Then they were like, oh, I see what this is. But it's funny because sometimes like through raids and stuff, they'll end up in other streams and they're like, wow, why is this person in a bathtub in a bikini? And I'm like, oh, don't click that, Mom. It's okay. It's so funny.
Chatting. Just chatting.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, just she's doing pool stuff.
That's great. That's great. My grandma last year, I was on the phone with her and she was like, oh, by the way, she's from Brooklyn. She's like, oh, by the way, I read your podcast. And I was like, I don't think you did. So it's interesting it is interesting, people who are not in the space, like being in the creator space in any way, shape, or form, like it's just so obvious. It's like, yeah, this, like the difference, something simple like the differences between the different platforms. And having one conversation with my grandmother or even my mom, like someone who is just outside of this space or maybe a little bit older, is a bit more removed, it's like, it does kind of sound like some sort of conspiracy theory or just like pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
We're just hanging out on
it sounds like we're wasting our time. Like, straight up. What do you mean you play on the internet?
Yeah. Well, crazy, right? Like when I was in high school, playing video games was just like degenerate behavior, and now
Yeah.
people are getting paid to professionally do it, but not even professionally like play the game. Just like if you, as this whole thing is about, like if you are able to be captivating or entertaining or really like make something for yourself, I mean, $10,000 in a single month. It's like, it's a damn good living. It's crazy.
Yeah. I would tell my parents, like, how much I get paid for a sponsorship, like, a brand deal. I'll be like, "Yeah, this" oh, I don't know if I can name it, but shit. But I'll be like, "Yeah, this company paid me 5 figures for a video." They're like, "What? What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Yeah, for one video, 15 seconds long. They paid 5 figures." And they're like, "Oh, good job." What? That's when they were like, "Okay, yeah." They no longer were telling me to get a real job, because 'cause they're like, "Oh, you're making a lot of money. Okay, well, keep it up."
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to deny or argue against like actual cold hard cash being made.
Yeah, no, literally.
It's great. Okay. So you went to college, wanting to be a doctor, and then you came back with blue hair and wanting to get into content creation, every parent's dream. And you just took me through the various platforms. Was that
Oh,
all?
I think I missed some income.
I
No, I
hate when that
did. I have a
happens.
lot of streams of income. Yeah, shit, man, I lost $10,000 somewhere. YouTube. Let's see, sponsorships, I didn't cover that. It
Right.
does vary a lot, actually. Oh, if I pull up if I pull up Google, it's gonna start lagging probably.
Also, we should just
I can
say we can take people behind the scenes. You and I tried to figure out for like 30 minutes setting up this podcast because your camera doesn't work on Riverside where I record podcasts.
Yeah, it literally doesn't work for some reason, and then we tried using Discord, but then your camera wouldn't work at Discord, and then we're like, "What?" So, we're doing some scuff thing where I'm recording I have to reinstall Sheets so I can look at my income tracker, but I'm recording in OBS, and we're in Riverside, but I'm screen sharing my OBS to you in Riverside so you can see my live reaction to what you're saying, otherwise you're, like, talking to a brick wall. It's scuffed, man. Hey, but we're making it work, that's what matters.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, sponsorship. Sorry, I just need to click this tab real quick. Okay. It is my biggest source of income. And what I could at least tell you as of last year is I made a little over 100K in sponsorships last year.
Awesome.
But I did not get paid every month. Out of the 12 months, there are like 2 months where I did not receive income. So it's really inconsistent.
Hmm.
Really nice. And you'll have a great spread where like 1 month I'll make like 2K and 1 month I'll make 21K from sponsorships. It's like
Right.
neck breaking. So really grateful to have the money, but the inconsistency is really scary because like, hey, no matter what, my rent is this much every single month. You know what I mean? Like I do need to pay it. So there's that. I also have I do commissions. Rarely, but I will sometimes do art commissions. I made like a couple hundred last year from it. This year I'm on the hook for a $400 commission, and I'm just waiting on them because they were like, "I'm out of ideas for emotes. I want 10." They gave me 7 ideas, so I'm waiting for 3.
Hmm.
I made 7. I'm like, "Whenever you're ready, just give me the thing." I think I need to hit them up though. I'm like, "It's been a couple months. Do you have any ideas now?" or But yeah, so I do commissions from time to time. The Reels bonus program occasionally pays me, which is like great. I'll take that. I had this weird month where I got this is a great problem to have. It's weird though because when it hits my bank account, it comes in as Facebook. But Facebook, like the Threads bonus program, the Reels bonus program, and the Facebook monetization all come in on the same, like with the same name. So it's confusing to figure out which is which. So last year was like 2K from random Facebook payouts. But the threads for the most part, I know which is the thread. So I don't think I'm double counting anything in this. And then this one site that I sell art on that I made $83 over the course of the year that I've been on since I was 18 years old.
Oof. Cool.
Yeah, so that should be it.
Great. Yeah, that's awesome. As for sponsorships,
Uh-huh.
you have a guide that you have several resources on this. You have a guide. I think I actually bought your media kit template.
I forgot to do. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I forgot my coffee. Oh my god, I completely forgot about my coffee.
Your coffee?
Before, I'm so sorry to cut you
Oh,
off.
like your physical coffee? Did you order coffee?
The coffee store, which is where the guide is. People can buy one-on-one coaching from me, and you can also tip on the guide. I completely forgot about it. So once you mentioned that, I was like, I forgot to count this source of income into it because it is like a service I sell. I made $10,500 from that last year.
Amazing. Okay, so I thought it was called Ko-Fi. It's called coffee.
It's a coffee cup. That's the logo. Everyone says it's Ko-Fi. I'm like, the logo is a fucking coffee cup. So either I'm delusional or you don't know English because what are you telling me? It's Ko-Fi, but it's a coffee cup as the logo.
You're right. I've never called it Ko-Fi. I misspoke.
No, it's
I would
okay.
never
The
do that.
hyphen I feel like is really trippy. I don't know what the pronunciation is because I don't think they ever came out publicly to say which is correct. So it's just been a fight ever since.
I mean, it's spelled like Ko-Fi. I don't know.
It is spelled like Ko-Fi, I will agree. But it's a coffee cup, so that I thought it was coffee.
Yeah, fair.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah. This is what's going to tear us apart in this interview. But
True.
so you have resources.
Yes.
That help creators, streamers market themselves, reach out to themselves, price themselves, right? I know you help people through rate cards, which is like, how do I price myself on various platforms? We could probably do an entire podcast just on sponsorships, brand deals, and how to go.
Oh, yeah. That is a long topic.
About those. But again, the people who are listening to this will most likely not be at your level, will not be full time, where, as we mentioned earlier, like brands are, probably flooding the inbox or asking you for your reach. And so I would love to hear your take on what Tyler, a mutual friend of us, he's in the Cranston program. He and I talked about this when he was on this podcast, which is a big myth of getting brand deal sponsorships, whether UGC or otherwise, which is you don't need a big audience size to capitalize on monetization in general, but certainly sponsorships and brand deals. And everyone thinks like, no, I have to hit this some arbitrary large number before I can. And so for those who don't have enormous audiences, what do they need to know about sponsorships and brand deals?
Very good point. Love Tyler. He is killing it. Huge inspiration for the UGC community because he is doing an amazing, amazing job.
He's a beast.
Oh yeah. That is completely true. That huge misconception. And everybody always asks me in the comment section of my videos, and I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to crash out if I get one more comment like this, please. But they're like, what number of followers do I need to start making money? And I'm like, no. There technically is an answer in some cases. Like Tyler is in the TTCC program, which I'm also in. You do need 50K followers on TikTok to access that program. So if you're referring to that, then yes, there is a hard number. But in terms of finding deals yourself, because that is not the only way you can go get deals, any size works. And especially actually nowadays in the creator space, the current meta for sponsorships is really big creators or really small creators. Brands actually don't want to work with creators of my size typically anymore. In the current meta, like mid-sized creators, because typically we are viewed as being priced too high for the reach, not the reach that we get, but for the engagement of our audience. So it is tricky, like it comes and goes. Sometimes there's times where mid-sized creators are very favored. I consider myself mid-sized. My total following is maybe 800 to 900K. You're considered like a mega influencer if you start exceeding the 1 million. Or like a big influencer if you exceed the 1 million. But yeah, brands do like small creators because small creators have a really engaged audience that they sell well because they convert really high due to the engagement of their audience. So a lot of small creators think they have no value to offer because their numbers are low, whatever. You actually have a lot to offer. In fact, brands are actively seeking small creators a lot of times for campaigns. Recently, they've been doing a lot of campaigns where they spearhead it with one big creator and they seed it with like a bunch of small creators because it funnels into each other. But the second thing is also the big misconception that followers, I need X amount of followers. Followers don't mean shit. Okay, you could have like literally 1 million followers and your engagement is what matters. And if your engagement and your views are low, then brands wouldn't want to necessarily work with you in a post onto your platform capacity where you post on your page because they want that conversion. And if the conversion looks low for you, then they they wouldn't want it to post on your page. Doesn't mean you can't do UGC, because with UGC, user-generated content, that's videos that you make that you give to the brand and the brand uses for their purpose, for ads, posting on their page, whatever. You don't need any followers for that, in fact. You just need good video quality. And an iPhone and good lighting is all you need. A lot of people think you need like fancy setup, whatever. It is amazing what an iPhone with a table by a window can do. Truly, try experimenting. If you want to get into sponsorships, don't look at your numbers. Instead, look at the quality of the video you can output. And then we go from there.
Cool. Great. I didn't know that about mid-sized creators. I wasn't aware of sort of
That's kind of the meta now.
it's like this bell curve almost.
Yeah, I think it's also due just to the recession because influencer budgets are constricted. So companies do want to get more bang for their buck. With a mega influencer, you get the bang of the massive following size. Small creators, you get the bang for your buck of the high conversion. Mid-sized creators, we are the jack of all trades, but the problem is you don't get one or the other. You kind of get a mediocre amount of both. And as a result, brands don't feel like it's worth it if there's a budget constraint.
Interesting. Okay. That makes
That's
sense.
from what I've seen.
Sure. And then for you yourself as a creator, how many brands reach out to you regularly? Like how many people do you have to say no to? And then maybe that goes into another conversation around like how you filter and like what your own values, beliefs, morals are around partnering with companies.
I can definitely answer this. Do you consider good brands or shit brands? Because if shit brands, then we got a lot. The amount of like affiliate like TikTok shop deals that flood my inbox every single day that I have to sift through is nauseous, like nauseating. But probably like maybe like 10, 20 brands a day reach out.
Huh.
But almost every single one of them are these like crappy TikTok shop brands that I will never do. So in terms of the like high value brands that I genuinely do want to work with is probably like one every couple of weeks makes it through. Like genuinely, it's a bit slow. Also, the thing is, I have two managements. I have a management agency called RTS, and then I have a talent agency called Nani Talent. So my talent agency handles almost all my sponsorship. I used to do it myself, but now they manage almost all of it. I can still bring deals myself, and I'm allowed to do that. So I will off the side. I have like a working partnership with Adobe, for instance, that I found myself. So for the Adobe stuff, like I just do it because that was my existing partnership with them from years ago. But yeah, so with that, the way I sort through it is affiliate deals out the gate. No, if the email, like the thing at the end looks sus, filter out. No, if it's an amalgamation of letters, whatever. If it's not the brand name, I don't trust it.
Why no to affiliate deals?
Because you don't make very much money from it, or like it's not guaranteed to make money. So I think affiliate deals are definitely worth it if you're a smaller creator, because then, you know, you can get the product, you can drive a couple of sales and make some money. As a smaller creator, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it because I do think creators should be paid for a guaranteed pay for doing the work, which affiliate deals, you don't get guaranteed pay. There's no direct correlation between video plus sales. There's an indirect correlation, but it's never like a one-to-one. So I do think creators should be paid for their time and effort. But if you're a smaller creator and you do want something on your portfolio, like a video, whatever, affiliate deals can be a good start to get stuff on your portfolio to make a little bit of extra cash. For me, of my size, I don't do strictly only affiliate deals. I will do affiliate links if you pay me for the video, and on top of that, there's an affiliate link. I worked with Fiverr, and our video deal was like that, where they pay me a flat rate, but there was also an affiliate code that I would also make money from. So it was like a wombo combo of that. I'm down for that, but I want to be paid for my time.
Sure. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So no to affiliate deals, no to sketchy links, you were saying.
Yeah.
And then what are sort of, I guess, more specific values of just like with this type of company or this type of product, like it's just a no for me. Or like, for example, I know a lot of creators, or I have heard of creators, only do sponsorships with products that they use themselves. And then the other end of the spectrum is just like, hey, you know, like if they're going to pay me a lot of money, I'll throw this into, not saying one is right or one is wrong. It's just everyone has sort of different filterings and values. And I'm just curious what yours are is around the products.
Yeah. I have my own moral code and compass. I think I operate slightly positive, morally gray, but I won't do crypto. I won't do AI. I'm very against like generative AI because it steals from artists. As an artist, I just think it's very disrespectful to be engaging in that. So if I go on your page and I see Gen AI, I will not work with you. None of that. If I I don't have to use the product to sponsor it. If I think it will be good for my audience, then I will when you bring it into me, I will test run it though. I'm not gonna like blind react. I will test it. But it's not one of those where it's like I've never used you, so I'm gonna throw you out completely. It's like you sound cool. Let me try it, and if I do think it will be helpful, I will recommend it. And then brands that I've used, etc. Things that I've worked with, I'm gonna be straight honest, if you throw a lot of money at me, I will consider more likely because, hey, hi, girl's gotta get her bag.
Mhm.
But I will not compromise the crypto, Bitcoin, like AI scam shit. Will not be doing any of that. Almost any AI thing that comes in, I reject it. It's like straight up. And but obviously within reason, but a lot of the ones like a lot of people because of ChatGPT, they've been making their own little ChatGPT apps, and it's just ChatGPT reskinned. And I'm like, dude, you want people to pay for a subscription for this? Like, come on, bro.
Hmm.
Eh, won't do it.
Well, that's a bummer because one of the main reasons I actually invited you here, Kat, is because I wanted to present you with a wonderful life-changing opportunity.
Gen AI and ChatGPT? Oh shit.
It's all into one coin called Dillan, and it is a GPT sort of cryptocurrency combination, and it would mean the world to me if we could sponsor you for about $10 a post.
Oh shit. $10? I'm sold.
Yeah.
All you needed to do was say the number.
We're just getting started, so our budget is it's a recession, and times are tough.
That's true. Recession. What can you do with the economy?
Yeah. This is great. This is really great. I appreciate you taking me through all of the revenue streams and just like sharing cold hard numbers. Not that I ever expect any creator that I interview to do that, but when they do, I just find that it's so. We were talking about this before we hit record. It's just really useful to know what is humanly possible. Like, what are other creators actually achieving and doing with all of this? And I don't know about anyone listening, but it just, at least for me, it just makes it so much more attainable. Like, what are human beings actually making in this? Like, am I completely delusional, or is this physically humanly possible?
No, that's because I'm a big personal fan of financial transparency. I do think something I do want to add though, on top of all of these earnings that I was talking about, my revenue, etc., is I have a lot of expenses due to the fact that I have 2 management agencies plus an editor, and that's something that needs to be taken into account. Like I post 1 YouTube video a day, and my editor edits all the videos for me. I hire him for 75 to 80 hours a month, and I pay him $32 an hour. And so, yeah, okay, this is my morals again. I'm very morally against outsourcing labor to third world countries where the US dollar goes a lot stronger because you're trying to be cheap. You know what I mean? Like if this person were based in the US for the skill level that they have, you would have paid them X amount, but because they are based in Y country, then you're gonna do that. That's just me personally. On other people would disagree with me because they're like, well, it's a living wage for them there, which is also a very true statement. I just personally feel icky doing that. My editor does not live in the US. But I want to pay him a rate that I think is fair for a US editor. So that's what I'm gonna pay him. So I pay him $27.60 a month, something like that. Sometimes it does go up because I'll give him bonuses and stuff. Or if I need a video turned over quickly, then I'll pay him extra for the fast turnaround because I want my editor to keep working with me. And if I mistreat him, he will not work with me. So obviously, I want to pay him fairly. There's that.
How'd you find him?
My talent. He was in my streams. He was just always in my streams. Like, Kat, I want to edit for you. I want to edit for you. Let me do free work for you. And I said no because I'm morally against taking free labor from people. I personally really believe in fairness and I want people to be compensated for their time and effort. I really don't like taking free labor from people, even if they would offer for me, because I want to value your work. I've had people give me free art and I just paid them because, yeah. But he was always in my streams, always asking to work with me. And then I was like, but it wasn't like pushy or anything, very enthusiastic. And he had actually hired me for one-on-one coaching before. And I really liked his work ethic a lot because his work ethic really reflected mine. And I like being around people that share the same values as me. And I could see that he works very hard. And he is a very enthusiastic and motivated person that is always learning and trying to be better and trying to see how he can improve. And I really, really respect that. So I truly liked him as a person and for his morals. And so for that, I was also like, okay, let's work together. And so I was like, let's do 10 TikTok videos for $200. So he made me the 10 videos. I looked at it. I was like, they're pretty good. Like, not perfect, but there's like things we could change, whatever. But I knew that who he is as a person, like he is somebody very open to learning and being better. I'm like, we can work together. And Like, we'll go very far together. So he's been editing for me for over a year now. And I love his videos. He turns over videos so fast. Love my editor. Absolute go of a guy. But yeah, like that's how I first found him, because he was always in my streams. And then we did one-on-one coaching, which is how I got to learn him better as a person.
Cool. That's awesome.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Yeah, but
editing, you're going through
yeah, so I have that. It's almost $3,000 a month to pay him for editing. Two managements. One of my talent agency, if they bring me brand deals, they take 20% of it, which is fair. You know, if they're managing the deals, whatever, they're taking a cut. So the numbers that I told you for how much I make from sponsorships is including that, like that cut, or like it's taking the cut out, if that makes sense. So if a brand deal was for 10K, I would pocket 8K. The amount that I said was the 8K. It was not. I was counting profit, not revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to clarify, because sometimes people ask, and then my management agency takes a percentage of my earnings. I don't think I can say what percent it is. It's not a big percent, but it is a percent of what the Katliente business earns. So they don't touch things that they don't deal with. So my art, they don't touch, because they don't manage my art side.
And just briefly on that, what is like? Assume I'm a 10-year-old. What is the strict difference between a talent manager and you have two managers? Like, what are the differences between the two?
Oh, yeah, no, completely fair question, because I get this question a lot. And in the beginning, I was also confused, and my talent agency was also confused. So my talent agency, the wording is a little bit confusing, but my talent agency deals with sponsorships only. So anything brand deal related, finding me brand deals, me being at an event for brand deals, negotiating the brand deals, hopping on calls, everything brand deal related, they deal with. My management does not touch that. Now, my management agency deals with the day-to-days of me as a creator. They helped me set up my LLC. They brought me a bookkeeper. So sometimes I'll have to deal with lawyers and attorneys, because I get people copyright striking my YouTube videos. So they will handle all the communication with the lawyers. I just go to them and I'm like, hey, here's some cease and desist. Go deal with it. And they will do all the communication. They will deal with it, whatever. At the end, they just give me an invoice for whatever the lawyer charged, and then I pay it, and I'm good. So all of the like loose ends, the annoying stuff that I don't want to deal with, like they help me manage it. Currently, I have a project coming up, a content creator competition that I host every year, and they're doing a lot of the day-to-day managing for that, like keeping me updated, you know, communicating with the graphic designer, whatever. I'm just kind of like, yeah, this is what I need, and they handle all the communication stuff from there. We do like, so it's basically like all the bitch work of a creator. They deal with it. So all I have to do is create.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, that clarifies it. Thank you.
Yeah, so one is sponsorships, one is not sponsorships.
And so you have an editor, you have these two management companies, I assume various softwares that you run, and obviously you are a human being with a life, so I assume you have human bills to pay, and that you also eat food to survive.
Rent, cat food, kitty allergy food for my cat, because all my roommates are allergic to him. That's really expensive. Yeah.
And now you need a new chair because your cat ate your chair.
Yeah, this chair is cooked. The back of it is absolutely wrecked because of my cat. But the irony of this chair is it used to be my old roommate's, and at the time I did have my cat, but she had just gotten 2 cats, and she's like, Cat, her name was also Cat, which is very confusing. But she was like, Cat, let me give you this chair. Like, if you want to buy it from me, you can buy it from me. And I was like, yeah, I want it. And so she was like, take it before my cats destroy it. And then I ended up getting a cat that destroyed it anyways. So
cat, and their cats.
Yes, we were 2 cats living in an apartment with 2 cats. Which was very confusing.
There's a television
and
show.
we worked at the same company.
Oh.
Yeah, and we're both Chinese. It was it's very confusing.
Okay, cool. This has been awesome. I really, really loved this conversation. I knew I would get a lot.
I'm glad it worked out.
Oh yeah, I was a bit nervous in the build up for this, because again, like, people didn't see, but it was chaos, and I'm a total idiot. I'm not like some tech savvy guy. Kat was just like, we could try this, we could try this, and I'm just like, okay, we can do it, we can try it.
I was just making stuff up, man. I was like, maybe if I open 2 instances of OBS to record twice, or I don't know.
But here we are. We're here because of you. You figured it out.
Thank you. And you brought us together, you know, like you brought us on this podcast.
And here we are.
So we got to share finance stuff.
Yes. Last question for you, and then we can wrap this up. What, if you could give one piece of advice to a creator who is listening to this, maybe they're feeling lost, a bit stuck right now, what is the most important thing for them to understand, hear, or do at this stage?
Hmm. I have a lot that I could say. A lot. But I would tell you what I told myself when I was in the throes of possible depression, never diagnosed, but and really questioning like my career, what I was doing with my life. I was absolutely hopeless and I was completely lost as to where to go because I wasn't going to do biology, but I had nothing lined up for me, no plans, no hopes, no dreams, and I was doing content hee hee on the side, but it wasn't working and I was so frustrated that everyone else was growing but I wasn't. And the thing that got me through that I kept telling myself was your time will come.
Hmm.
And I kept telling that to myself even when I didn't believe it, even when I thought I wasn't worth shit. But I would keep telling myself that, and if you tell yourself that over and over again, you eventually lie to yourself and you gaslight yourself into believing it. It doesn't matter the method you get there, but as long as you get to the conclusion that you believe it, that's chill. But it's so easy to look at other people doing other things, succeeding, and you look at yourself and you're posting these videos and they're flopping, you're streaming and you're putting in all this time and effort and you're not going where you think you should be going and it feels like crap. And I've been there. I completely relate to that. But your time will come and everyone is on their own and their own unique journey. If you keep working at it and you keep pushing at it and you just slowly make the changes and work hard towards how you can improve, your time will come and you will eventually get the success that you deserve.
Wow. Beautiful.
That was deep. Wow.
It was, absolutely.
That was a deep ending.
That's going to make a great clip. That's good. Your time will come, and your time has come. I love all the stuff that you make. It's been incredibly educational to me. I will continue to consume it and give you $5 per every guide that you make. And
that is one boba.
There you go.
I'll take that.
Perfect. Yeah, you're welcome. Where do you want people to go? I'll link to all the main channels, but if you want people to check out and leave you a boba, where can they go?
Well, let me name my like 20 channels. I would say probably my main channel, my TikTok, Katliente. Pop in there. I mean, if you want the resources, my coffee is also Katliente. You don't have to donate me a boba. I would like it if you do, but you don't have to at all. Like, just take it for free. That's why I made it free. I also Instagram, katliente.ttv. I'm close to 100K. I keep forgetting to post there. So if you want to follow, I also have an alt TikTok, alt Instagram, Katliente IRL. _IRL, where I actually post because people keep unfollowing me when I post pictures of myself on my main Instagram. And it makes me sad, so I stopped posting pictures of myself there. But and my Twitch, Katliente. Well, if you like art drama, my YouTube, I renamed it. This is a whole side tangent. I renamed it Cat and Chat, and this is another branding lesson for y'all. But for brand purposes, if your main brand is X, but you have a second channel that does well, that is Y, that is a completely different niche. I ideally would actually rename it for the reason being that people are going to, like my main channel, Katliente, my drama channel is called Cat and Chat. People kept going to my drama channel being like, where's the educational videos? Because it wasn't. Because the people who know the Katliente brand expect education. So renamed the drama channel, made a new channel called Katliente for educational videos. So there's more clarity there between one brand being education, one brand being not. So just a little tidbit on there. But if you like drama, it's called Cat and Chat. It's a little pixel cat logo thing.
Kat, you're awesome. Thank you very much for giving me your
Thank you for
time
having
today.
me.
This is a wonderful conversation. I appreciate it.